Okay, so I'm here to describe my AR 2.0 situation. I was just flying it. I had many troubles over time with the current build status. A lot of things I'm just not even sure what happened and why it works now and why I had trouble before and if it will continue to have trouble similar to the trouble it's had before, or if mostly that trouble has been sorted out. I have some other videos showing how my copter would suddenly quit working. Lots of people told me that on Facebook and stuff that I should check the calibration of my ESCs, which maybe I did before a bunch of times or something, but maybe something didn't work out right, or maybe I didn't do it right, or I'm not really sure. This is a CC3D running OpenPilot, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure that the ESC calibration worked out this time. But I'll describe the build. So it's AR 2.0 motor and prop and frame. The ESCs from the AR 2.0 are apparently very difficult to use. You need to somehow either reprogram them or communicate with them using a different programming than a sport performance flight controller like this OpenPilot CC3D. And so I'm not really sure how to go about using those ESCs, but if I figured it out, I would certainly use them because they're so much lighter. But I wouldn't use them if I needed to run a whole nother microcontroller in addition to my flight controller, which might be what's required, until I got all the way to some kind of level of understanding where I was actually just using an Arduino anyway, but that is so far more advanced than I am at these quadcopters that it's even very likely that I'll never get to using an Arduino as a flight controller. So I was just flying it on an AR 2.0 battery, which was working okay. I do have some other batteries that I will try, of course, but I'm flying those other batteries on my other copters. So to keep the charge cycles on my other copters, I'll just use this one, which doesn't fly those other ones very well. My receiver did not work in my Eachine Racer 250, but it's working here. And I think that this receiver was difficult to use because the wire is short. The end of the antenna is heavy because it's one of these sleeved dipoles. So I put it out at the end of a swizzle stick, and still it didn't get very good range. I haven't really range tested it here, but the motors of the AR 2.0 are so much significantly smaller than the Eachine Racer 250, and the arms of this copter are much longer. And so my logic is that the antenna is going to work better on this build because there will be a lot less interference. So I'm going to try to get this bad boy up. I gotta tune the PIDs, I gotta raise the P gain at least to where it flies pretty good, and then I want to take it to the park and I want to get an FPV camera on it. And I have one that doesn't work very well, but might do what I want it to do here. And then You know, my logic is that these smaller motors, the geared motors with the big propellers, might have a longer flight time. Or maybe they won't. Than my other racers, I don't know. I do want to see, and if it does, then I want to fly a particular way with it, where I kind of fly up and down long lines, maybe around the edge of a park. And it's not very exciting for the racers. There's not very many obstacles. But it is actually very fun to fly that way, where you just try to go and you're maybe against the wind for some particular stretch of fence line, and then you go with the wind for a little while, and it's more like a long endurance race type versus a high speed obstacle race. And I think that if it got longer battery life, it would actually be a ridiculously fun copter to go take on those kind of flights. And I have other receivers by now that I got in the mail that if this one doesn't give me the range I need, then I have a replacement. But while I don't know, I'm going to use this one and range test it. So I have some standoffs and another board, and I could mount that board on here, or I could leave it off, which might be a little sleeker when I try to mount. But I think if I put the board on top, then it would protect the FPV camera and stuff that I'm going to mount. It would also give me some room to mount things. And then my battery is held on by this strap, and it's underslung. Right? So it's right here.